A word for my beginning, confusion. You never know what you're doing in the beginning. You're always confused.
I felt uneducated, nervous, unprepared, because I didn't really know much.
Fear. I'm Mrs. Garcia. I have a little girl. Her name is Mariah. She has Down syndrome. She's 14 years old, and she's nonverbal, but not non-communicative.
My name is Katie. I'm 16 years old, and I'm a special needs religious education instructor.
Hi, my name is Peter Fisher, and I'm the Accessibility Compliance Coordinator at Arizona State University.
I was very afraid. The medical community around us gave us every reason to be fearful and just not a lot of hope. We were continually pushed and pushed and pushed in the direction of termination. Finally, my husband just said, everyone has to stop and just know that this is our child. And from that moment forward to this day, we just celebrate her every day. Mariah has an older sister named Aaliyah. She's 2.5 years older. She also has a baby brother, Jakey, and he is 2.5 years younger. I love that Aaliyah spends time with her, joking with her. She goes in Aaliyah's room and puts on her makeup. Now, Jakey is younger than Mariah, so she follows everything that he does, which has kind of made her a bit of a tomboy. She's a daredevil. She swings so high and then closes her eyes, knowing that it terrifies me. She knows what she's not supposed to do, does it anyway. Mariah goes to school and she has math. She has a language arts grade, even though she's nonverbal. So it's like, hang on, we should ask everyone to rise to the occasion. There's different opportunities for Mariah's class to interact with her neurotypical peers. And in our case, the situation that works the best for us is music and library, art, PE. We were actually at a Dairy Queen and we walk in and there's this kid walks by with his mom and no big deal. He's like, oh, hey, Mariah. And I was like, who knows my child's name? This kid knows my, like, hi, hello there. You know Mariah, how do you know her? And like, it's not even a big deal. It's like, oh, she's in my class at school. And then just goes on about life. Mariah wakes up at 6:30 in the morning. She has breakfast. She has her hair done. She wears a uniform to school and she rides the bus to school. So she goes to school all day long and then comes home and has therapy. So thank goodness some speech therapists a long time ago figured out that our kids who are nonverbal can communicate by way of pictures and put together full sentences. And there are adults who live life independently by way of a communication device. It is freedom at its finest. Her communication is coming along so well, and it's not always verbal. She lets us know what she needs. I mean, that's my dream, to be able to have a two-way conversation with her. But I know that I'm taking a long way to get there. But we're getting there. Mariah has opened a whole world of love that we wouldn't be privy to without her. But I'm telling you, even our kids' friends, they're just gonna grow up to be just kind of a little extra awesome because of Mariah, because they love my child.
8th grade, I saw that my local parish needed special needs religious education instructors, so I signed up with my mom and I've been doing it ever since. I was really nervous because it was one-on-one, something I had never done before, and I really wanted to make sure I would do it right. So Savannah is a 16-year-old girl with Down syndrome, and I've been working with her for over a year, and I recently helped her receive her first communion and confirmation. So in class, we're working on the Hail Mary and her trying to say it with us. And my favorite memory is like when she read it through for the first time and she was so excited, just clapping her hands and she was thrilled. And that just made me so happy. It was like, she gets so excited and she's just so eager to learn. Savannah's just unfiltered joy and love. And the love she gives to me and others is just something that I want to emulate in my own life. She's not a single mean bone in her body, and that's really inspired me to become a more kind and loving person. She's impacted me because I really admire her for learning about the faith, and it's really inspired me to dive deeper in my relationship with God too. I didn't really know much about children with special needs, having gone to private schools or small schools all my life. I had the preconceived notion that, a lot of people with disabilities aren't capable, which was completely wrong. They love to do things just like we do. They love to hang out with their friends, their family, and most importantly, they have the curiosity for the world that we all have, and yearn for independence too. I think a lot of times we automatically assume we should, baby them, or no, you can't do that. But yes, they can. And they want to do it by themselves, and they can do it by themselves.
My job entails making all of Arizona State University's campuses, all of their buildings, campuses, facilities, and sites compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act. So the ADA has changed people's everyday life dramatically. It's basically a civil rights law that helps even the playing field for people with disabilities. Okay, so some examples of ADA compliance. I think that simple answers would be ramps and elevators. You'll see ramps with handrails. That's another ADA compliance item. A typical day in the life of an ADA coordinator. We're the subject matter experts that are advocates for people of all different disability types. So I need to put myself in front of construction drawings or verbal meetings, and I need to be thinking as if I'm someone with a disability in all the different types of classes of disability you can think of, and know the laws that apply to them. And I have a disability myself, so it wasn't unusual for people to ask me, if I were in that building, how would I want to do it? I think most people, when they think of accessibility and the ADA, think of physical disabilities. They don't often consider hearing impaired, visually impaired, or maybe mental health conditions, that they're also protected under the ADA. I think the biggest misconception about people with disabilities is that they don't work or they don't contribute to society, that they're not trying hard enough. They have to try harder to prove themselves because of such misconceptions. So if you have someone who is not like-minded or as progressive when it comes to disability or inclusion, you might have to kind of explain to them why you're doing something. And it's not just because it's a law. It's not just because it's the right thing to do, but it's because we're trying to make a better atmosphere for a larger group of people. Disability is not a class that you can escape. You're likely to be disabled at some point in your life. You are temporarily able. You could walk outside right now, trip on the curb and sprain your knee. Well, now you're disabled. 1 in 4 people in the United States have a disability. Be prepared to engage in a world with disability. Accessibility brings that opportunity to more people to be included and to be successful and integrated with everyone else.
When you work with kids with special needs, there just needs to be an understanding that they will get it. You just have to be a little patient.
Have faith in everyone, that everyone has their gifts and we're all brothers and sisters in Christ.
Interact with them. Say hello.
Holding the door open for someone or saying hi or, hey, I like your shoes. People remember those things.
Get to know disability. Educate yourself around disability. Learn what it is that makes you uncomfortable. And the more we learn, the better we can feel. The better we feel about disability, the more comfortable we get.
I suppose I just wish that people weren't afraid to try. And it's mostly because they're afraid they're going to do it wrong or say something wrong. When you have good intentions and you have a good heart, fear not.
It's imperative to me that if you are comfortable, you're going to be a better person around others.
Because now I know that everyone can do whatever they set their mind to, and that I shouldn't try to put limitations on other people.
There is not two separate worlds. We're all together. We don't have to all be the same, and we shouldn't be. That makes us so unique. And celebrating one another and all of our glorious differences and similarities is pretty awesome.
And a word for now would be acceptance or understanding, because then you don't need to be, you can still be confused, but you can accept and understand that confusion and then live with that from where you go.
Hope, faith as well.
So like eye-opening, amazing.
It's kind of a phrase. There's more to come.